I gotta figure this. Like, I can set the camera to be a certain way, and then I come onto YouTube, and YouTube does its own freaking thing. I promise you, I have very little light on in here. Very little light. Well, I guess it'd be worse. Oh, do not reach over the candle. That's not smart, Jonah. There you go. Okay. So the thing that I heard this morning before coming on was "Let's play," and I was like, "Yes, absolutely. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play." So I'm like secretly hoping like is there a message in it for me? Please, please, please. So. Feeling good. We started with that yesterday, Madame Dora's fortune telling cards. I'm not really sure what it wants to say. So it feels like let's have fun, let's play. Okay, they're already like doing this hopping around with the cards and stuff. They're showing me how it's going to come out. Okay. Aha! It's like if you don't have the answers, you will. Like if there's something you lack experience with and you're just kind of winging it, you'll know. We've got your abilities will be enhanced and you'll be guided through darkness coming out together. Like there's just going to be an instinctive knowing of what to do, how to maneuver, things like that. I need to make sure that things are going to, hold on. I am so close to the wall. I don't know putting a hole in it. Shut up, we're not putting a hole in it. I need to be careful. Okay. All right. Making sure it came through. All right. I'll put this down here. Okay. So then they wanted me to bring, I saw two cards over here. And then they were like divine doors. Hey, Elfie, how are you? So let's see here. Your abilities will be enhanced. You'll be guided through darkness. So it's just if you're venturing in something that you're not really familiar with, you don't really know, or you're taking a risk, it's almost like you don't know intellectually, but you're going to know. You're just going to, like whatever your gut reaction or your, I even want to say impulse decision is going to be the right one. Okie dokie. Well, that's the same. Okay. So we've got a distant kiss and a prayer flag. I don't know why they call it like that, but it says, this is my frou-frou deck, all right? So the frou-frou deck kind of has like these really frou-frou-y sayings. Don't worry, I get a lot from them. I'm not usually that frou-frou. I wish of all wishes that you were here. Through sunlight and rain, I need you near. The thing that there's a distance between you and something else, and it's calling you to it, or they are calling you to them. All right, we got Anthony's call. Nah. It says, in thanks of my spirit, safe and sound, all things that are lost can be found. Something that you didn't think that, it's like you're not aware of and that you didn't think is either a part of your immediate future, a part of I just heard lost on you. It's almost like you thought something was meant for you. And I want to say something because even if we're talking about love, it's like the idea of a life partner or a counterpart, like a soul connection. And you felt like it was lost on you. It was like, I get the sense of your belief in it, your like soul calling for it. Everything just kind of felt like it was gone. Like it's poof, it's not there anymore. And so on your end, it feels like I don't feel an energy of a desire, of a pull, of anything. Like there's zero awareness, which might be the thing that you're not, like when I said you're not really aware of something, and so you're going to be guided to it. Oh, it's something that's unknown to you, but I feel like it's like the other end of whatever this is, on the other side of this, they're calling, the situation's calling you in. There's something very unaware to you, that you're not near, you're not close to, and it's pulling you in. And it's something that maybe at one point you thought, like, I don't know why I'm getting this, but they're showing me somebody who was like, I want to live in a particular place. And then time eroded away that dream, or like just things happen and you're like, maybe not. Like even the desire isn't there. And you're just kind of like, you almost miss the desire itself versus the place. You're like, like, where did it go? Like, why do I not feel this anymore? And so it's just not in your purview, your peripheral, your awareness. You're just like, it feels like something about that just dissipated. It's no longer there. So this could be a place, like a place that felt like home, that you always felt like you would go to. You know, these people who are like, I'm going to move to Hollywood. And it's like life happens and they feel like it's not even a remote possibility. They don't even have the desire anymore. They don't even believe in the dream. It's not on their radar. They're just living their life. And it's almost as if whatever's on the other side is calling you to it. Okay. And so it's like, little do you know, this thing that you felt is completely lost, that it's not even in your awareness anymore as a possibility, will be found again. So, and that could be love. It could be a million things, like a type of job. We'll get to it though. Then we've got palmistry, which is fortune and tarot, collective destiny. The palm lines from birth tell your sacred palmistry. And it says, listen to the notes of your intuition. And if we're looking at divination types of things, and it says, the palm lines from birth tell your sacred palmistry. It feels like your sacred destiny. Like it's always been written. It's always been something that like from your incarnation into this existence, you were meant to either encounter, come across, move to, be a part of, something to that effect. Like it was always meant for you. And you may have been in I want to say this idealistic, like, oh, it'd be so great, before life, that kind of stuff. And it was like, I feel like this is something that you were naturally drawn to and you didn't question. You naturally thought was for you. It just felt a part of your days. I don't know where that accent came from. Your destiny. So this is something that was just always meant for you. And it's almost as if, like, whether you were aware of it, whether you took active steps to it or not, life was going to happen to try and get you there. Okay? So that's what I feel like. That's why they're saying all of a sudden your abilities are going to be enhanced. And it's funny, even if it's not to your awareness, your intuition is going to lead you there, like breadcrumbs. Like you don't even see that your intuition is taking you there. Okay, so that's okay. Maybe that's the reason why Spirit's like, let's play. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not a part of that group. I'm not 70 plus. I'm just going to reiterate that. I'm not 70 plus. Okay. So where are we going with this? Okay. Secret tarot. Get it? Secret tarot. Okay. There's a secret. This is weird. I don't usually have this difficulty on a Saturday. I like just threw that. Like instinctively, Spirit is moving you onto a new path. It's almost, I want to say it's so incremental, breadcrumbs. You don't see it happening. You're aligning to walk a different path, to go a different direction. Because we got the Two of Pentacles, which showed up yesterday, but this is like one, like it's like one is a priority. One is more important at this point. One is weighed higher. It is the better option, right? Because sometimes they're not even doing this like to try and figure something out. There's no fucking doubt here. One is elevated above the other, period, point blank. And then we have the Eight of Cups, which is the requirement to walk like, they're giving me, you were in a period of so much options available that you felt like there wasn't any options available because you couldn't hone in because you weren't feeling that, oh yes, the pull to something. Your intuition wasn't guiding you, and so it was all cerebral, and you're having to kind of like, and it felt like the Seven of Cups, right? The Seven of Cups, like, okay, so what should I do? I'll do this, and it's like trying to pick the best cup without all the information, right? So it was a very cerebral, like, I don't know what to do. It was a confused state. And you're walking away from that. Like, it's like so many options that it didn't feel like there was an option. And you're leaving away anything that you're walking away from anything your brain could have potentially perceived as an option. Like, I feel like you went through like an analysis of, I can do this and maybe this and like, and so like you probably ran through a million scenarios of different options and potentialities, and none of them did you feel pulled to, like really pulled to. The one thing that you probably felt very pulled to, like, it wasn't a part of the Seven of Cups. Funny thing is, in the Eight of Cups, you walk away from all of that to go towards the Nine of Cups, which is your wish, your true desire, which means everything that you've been looking at thus far didn't have that cup, didn't have it in it. Because you probably took it off the table. It probably, it just, how do I say this? Like, eludes you. Because everything was very cerebral, Your brain took it off the table. You're just like, oh, all of this, da, 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 and nothing. You just didn't feel drawn. So you had to make the best choice given the myriad of options. Like, you didn't even know how to whittle it down. You couldn't find something. But you're about to, because you're going to walk away from all of that confusion, that feeling of like trying to figure it out cerebrally, and you're going to leave that behind, because all the things, like, they're just getting, don't you hate when somebody goes, you're like, what can I do? And they're like, anything. You literally can do anything. And you're like, I've got nothing in front of me. When they're accurate, like, there's nothing holding you back. You can make a choice, but you feel like that's too broad, that's too expansive, right? Like, how do I choose if I don't have that pull to something? You're about to do that. You're about to take a different course. You're going to walk towards something. It's almost as if you walk away from the lesser option to take a different, they're saying objective, like you're going a different route. You're going a different route. It's like, the reason it didn't feel like there was a legitimate option in front of you, even though technically you could have done whatever, like, when you're in that space where it's like, do whatever you want. And it's like, there wasn't that's a million types of options, right? But there wasn't an option because you weren't feeling it. You didn't know what you wanted because your brain took it off the table. It's not even a potentiality. Nothing spoke to your soul. Nothing spoke to your heart. Nothing engaged your heart. Nothing felt like you were leading with your heart. Everything was cerebral. Everything was. Nothing felt fulfilling because it didn't call to your soul. You didn't feel pulled to it. And the thing is, when you experience that in life, where something feels like it's so much a part of your fabric, that anytime you face a decision and that's not present, you feel not in it. I'm just not in it. It makes it difficult to make a decision, right? Especially when you're hoping whatever decision you make fulfills you, but yet you don't feel drawn to it. You don't feel connected to it. You don't feel anything for it. Makes it difficult. You're going for something, whatever this path is taking you away from those options that weren't really an option, the multitude of options that made you feel like you had nothing in front of you because everything was cerebral and it wasn't connected to you, to finding something that's connected to you. You're choosing that option. So we're going to go like this because they're telling me to switch it. The Queen of Cups is on the side where it's the yes. The Eight of Cups is on the side of the no. Okay, so that's what is about to happen. And that's what your intuition is pulling you towards. It's like it had to do it incrementally is the way that they're showing me. It had to get you to this place incrementally. It's almost as if you had to realize, hear me out. There was something about you needing to realize that it truly is a choice. Sometimes we feel like if something is put within us from birth, is it really our decision or choice? Maybe we take it for granted how much we fall in love with something, or we desire something, or how much it is for us. So we start to, because the brain will try to put those doubts in there, right? And so it was like, okay, well, let's take that off the table and we'll give all of the world of options. Everything else, what do you want? And you had to realize you truly didn't want those, that you really are choosing what's coming. You're choosing your intuition. You're choosing what fulfills your heart. You're choosing what speaks to your soul, what honors you. And you had to get to the place where those other things were no longer enticing, which means to literally being the unicorn, right? Literally being the unicorn, being willing to stand in that uniqueness and not succumb to the programming and the pressures that might be around you to conform. And it's like you had to get rid of that. And on your own, you started going back to and leaning on intuition and that core feeling as your guide. Like you would tap in, no. And in the meantime, you're doing things that don't have any meaning to you whatsoever as a in between, as a, you're trying all these different hats on and none of them feel right. None of them fit. None of them, but you keep trying. And then it's like suddenly you start seeing little breadcrumbs and you're following it. That was your own choice. That was your decision. You're realizing how important that is to you and how that's exactly how you want to make your decisions and your choices. And when you know that to a deep core, those disruptive, interruptive, deceitful thoughts that try to come in and question things, you're like, oh, no. Like when you're really in your power and other people try to question whether or not you really, like, are you sure? It's like, fuck yeah, I am. I'm really sure. Like, it just doesn't get to you. The doubt doesn't get to you. It doesn't seep in. It can't get between you and what is meant for you. Damn. Okay. So your intuition has been almost like a clock. They're showing me it's like tick, 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 tick. You've almost been like turning someone. I'm thinking of when I'm doing my son's hair because my son has really curly, long hair. And I'm like, would you turn your head to the right? I'm trying to get him to turn his head. I said, look the other direction. I'm like, I have to I have to help him. I'm like, come on, turn your body, and like, he's so damn confused. I swear to God. Like, it's what it reminds me of. It's like, they're like, it's like, but it wasn't them. It's almost like you had to, like a metal detector. You're like, nothing. You had to do it yourself. There's this thing that's like sensing stuff. And then it's like that kind of thing. It's like, I know I make the worst sound effects, but whatever. And you get to it, and you kind of like, and then it's like this big alarm within you that's going off. And so it's like you're in this whole process, your abilities were enhanced and guided you through this darkness. You had to find that compass. You had to find that detector within you. Okay, now I'm feeling it. Yeah, no, right. No, that's not that. Like, it's the hot and cold game, like, you're going towards something. It's like cold, cool, warm. And you're like, it's that, but it's internally. It's almost the integration of your connection with your spiritual team internally, so that you're not necessarily seeing your spiritual team as something external. They are separate from you, but also together with you. Does that make sense? Okay. Elkie, you're making me jealous right now because this is like exactly the fuck what I would do with you. I would be like, let's take a blanket too and chill, and then like also it's super freezing, but let's go get our feet cold, or let's, you know what I mean? We would be dancing under the moonlight. Like, seriously, stop! You're distracting me. He's going like LP's going. It's not chaotic. It's magical is what it is. Listening to the live on the beach with a hot chocolate and watching the waves under the full moon. I want to flip you off because you're my friend. Because you're my friend. Okay, my peeps is my friends, and I'm gonna be like, I just wanna, right now. I will make you get in the water. Oh my God, there's no getting near water, not getting in the water. Say, oh, good, Cappy, good. All right, let's keep going. This is a good reading. So you're about to really, something's pulling you near, something's calling you. And it's like, it's not of your conscious mind, and it's not something that you are seeking. And I want to say, it's not even something that your soul is saying. It's as if your soul and your beingness is in a dark room trying to find something, and you hear, the Marco Polo game, and you're trying to find it. Something's calling you, Marco. And inside you're like, Polo, and you're trying to find it. So something's calling you to it. Job, a particular, and when I talk about location, I am talking about where you live. There are astrocartography will tell you different times of your life based upon your chart where you should be living. But I look at the ley lines and Earth's meridian points, and there's certain areas that like unlock, and it can be literally where you're located, like just where you're living, and you're meant to be somewhere else. And so it's like, I get this like beacon that's like trying to call you in. Because it's funny, it's not you putting something out to the universe. Something is like pulling you in. But it's something that you once were aware of, that you once knew that you wanted and desired, and that was meant for you, and you just kind of shelved it somehow. We're going to find out what that is. And it's like, be sure, this is something that's a part of your destiny. It's been almost like written in your fibers for a really long time. It's always meant to somehow happen. And so it's like, follow your intuition now. It's really, really important. Just as a reminder. High Priestess. It's been written. It's part of destiny. It's within your fibers. And it's as if something external to you is igniting something within you, like a beacon, and you're like a homing device. You're looking for it. You're intuitively, as long as you listen to your intuition and not your mind, you are moving towards it instinctively. I don't know if that second one I'm gonna see. I don't think this is it. I think you may have been in this place, because like this is the one that flipped out, and this one just like it landed and then it slid, and I'm like, it felt a little off, and that's probably the reason why. Because this is not something that you're going, like, this is where you've been. You can do anything you want, like all barriers and obstacles removed, anything you want, and it's like, but it felt like there was nothing there, no option. But isn't the whole premise of when you start over, it's like, as the Fool, you have the freedom of movement, freedom of choice. You don't have to do this. You can go and try and do this, and you can try your hand at this, and you can do da-da-da. And it's like, your mind couldn't grasp it. me about this right here. That's the bridge. I see that. I'm not doing a big book. I will not do that. Help me understand this card right here. You played a part in the waiting. If you felt like something was being withheld from you, it's because your refusal to take that which didn't speak to you at all. It's like instinctively you just couldn't fathom it as a potentiality. We've got the Four of Cups right here. And in this one, there isn't a proverbial car, like something coming from the sky. There's Four Cups and this person is withdrawn. There's options on the table and none of them, not being pulled, like recoiling almost. And your mind might have responded to that. You may have been like, why? Why do I not want something? And then your ego's like, got this. Let me give you the story. All of these reasons are reasons why you can't do this. And none of which was fucking true. None of which, here's the thing. Actually, the ego likes to pull little bits of truth from the past and things that you've experienced so that you're like, oh yeah, I can't because of this kind of thing. That's not the real reason, though. The real reason is because it didn't ignite something inside of you. It wasn't speaking to you. And it's like you get a taste of something and you're like, I want that, but it's not on the table. It's not here in front of me. But your mind was like, okay, these are all the reasons why, right? That's what the ego does. It takes everything. It has no real understanding of the future, but it sure as hell will gather everything up that you've ever experienced, witnessed, or encountered, or seen from, like, observed with other people, and throw it and be like, see, that's why. That's the reason why. Right there. And it's like, you would believe it. Probably anybody outside looking in is like, why don't you just do this? Or why don't you? And it's like, you had a million reasons because your brain came prepared, right? And the truest of all reasons is because you didn't feel pulled to it. You didn't feel called to it. You didn't feel like it was a part of you. Like there was almost like this buoy resistance to it. Like magnets that would buoy apart. It's like, it's not a match. So we've got here, I don't know, there's something about between the High Priestess, the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands feels like it's the bridge to the King of Pentacles, okay? And the funny thing is, again, may I just say, this High Priestess, because that's where you're operating from, is this energy right now. This High Priestess, unaware, completely fucking unaware, right? Facing the opposite direction, unaware of the Page of Wands. Here, King of Pentacles, now just bear with me, we're getting a little with this shit. King of Pentacles holds this pentacle at the center as if it's like some kind of beacon. You know, like a lighthouse calls in the ships, right? How is I'm going to pull from a different deck. How is the Page of Wands the bridge? How is it the bridge? What is the Page of Wands? It's the thing. Okay, so they're giving me something. In the incremental turns and changes, right? Sorry, I try to move this a certain way. And like, I got this much space. I might be short, but I need to, that's why you see me trying to like maneuver and stuff like that. Okay. I'm like one of those neurodivergent, hypermobile people who sits really funky, like crisscross all the time. And then, you know, so when I'm sitting normal like this, it feels really weird. because whatever this is at a distance and it's pulling you towards it, and you're following your intuition, you're kind of like, you're going to end up somehow encountering. I feel like this is the bridge. This is the thing that crosses the distance between where you're at and whatever's calling you to it. Okay. Your intuition is taking you, by following your intuition right now, it's going to lead you to meeting or encountering the Page of Wands. You're not going to right away meet or encounter the thing that's pulling you towards it, right? Okay, so let's break that down. If the King of Pentacles is your bountiful, where your highest potential life, 3D life could be had. Let's like it's a location or something, okay? And that's what's calling you to it. How do I get there? How do I make that transition? It's not just as easy. Like, I don't feel like you're in that position where you can just go, oh, I'll just move there. Oh, it's not even on your radar. You don't even realize that this place is calling you home. Like, whatever this is calling you home. Okay. And so it's almost like your intuition, because you're very unaware of it. And you know how I said that they're going to be like, tick, tick, like my son is facing the wrong way and I need to turn him. You're going to turn. Right now, you're not seeing the Page of Wands, but following the breadcrumbs of your intuition right now is going to lead you right to this. Okay. And this bridges the distance, the gap between you and what's calling you. So we're gonna find out about the Page of Wands. Okay, Starman Tarot is really heavily calling me. Right? A moon bath. I love doing that. Getting in the water under the moon. Not that I get to do it frequently, but yeah. All right, let's figure this one out. What is the Page of Wands? The Page of Wands. You're going to encounter something new. You're going to encounter something that sparks an interest. You're going to encounter I feel like you'll get excited about it, but the Page of Wands is the Knight of Pentacles. Mm-hmm. I'm going to show you when I tell you something's pulling you in. Take a look at this. You see this Knight of Pentacles? He is stationary. It's as if the horse's hooves are nailed shut. Maybe whatever, see, that's the thing. Whatever this is that's pulling you in cannot come to you. You have to come to it. Period, point blank. That's why they keep giving me the notion of like a location, right? So like if you're meant to go to Italy, Italy can't fucking come to you. That whole country just can't pick the fuck up and come to you, right? Whatever, if it's a person, if it's a job, like it can't come to you. You have, like, whatever this is stationary and you got to come to it. And look at it. You see this? You see this thing? It's emitting a frequency. It is sending out the signal, pulling you in. I fucking told you this. You're showing me this. Something's calling you to it. And it's like it cannot come to you. You have to go to it. And whatever this, I want to say, medium or vessel that takes you the distance to whatever this thing is, it's fun, exciting, youthful type of energy, because the page is really giving me like the kind of fun and excitement you would have when you're like unencumbered, uninhibited type of thing. So yeah, so whatever it is, so I'm gonna put that under the King of Pentacles because it's stationary. That's why it has to call you. Like it cannot come to you. You have to go to it. Okay. I'm gonna set this aside because I want to, it's coming out and I feel like there's a message there. But I want to answer the Page of Wands. What is the vessel that gets us there? What's the vessel? The fucking Chariot. Like, are they being literal right now? I'm like, what? What's the vessel? Chariot. Like, you're just repeating. It's a vessel. What's the vessel that takes us there? The vessel that takes you there. Like, motherfucker, that's not what I meant. Like, what? Like, what is it? Like, God, it's like they're going, I'm like, what's the vessel that's going to take us there? They're like, a car? Motherfucker, what? That's not what I meant. Seriously, Spirit? Come on. I swear to God. A car? That's like when my kids ask what's for dinner and I go, food. All right, smartass. Spirit's getting smart right now. They know exactly what the fuck I'm asking. There's got to be something, like you don't just go, unless you do. See, it's a Page of Wands. It's like an adventure. It's some kind of an adventure. It's fun. It's exciting. It piques your interest. It takes you there. It takes you there. So it's got to be something that piques your interest or gets you excited, and you're like, ooh, like. Oh, remember I said nothing was speaking to you? So whatever this is speaks to you, it excites you, and so you're willing to say yes to it. Okay. What is the material understanding of what this is? Like, break it down. Is it a fucking job offer? Is it okay. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Scream! The Seven of Pentacles. Much like the Seven of Cups that we were talking about earlier, where it's like all the options, but not one option yet. Like, seriously, no option. And that's kind of like the Seven of Pentacles, right? Of all the seeds that are planted, not one seed, nothing happens. Like, of all the potentiality and possibility and nothing. Take a look at this Seven of Pentacles. It's a fucking Sahara Desert. This Page of Wands is the one thing, the one sign of life, the one thing that makes you feel alive in this moment. Okay, they're like dancing around it, dancing around the answer. You're gonna know what it is because it speaks to you inside. It gets you excited. It lights things up within that haven't been lit up for a while. It puts you in a playful mood. If you're like, why the fuck not? It's that kind of an energy. But it doesn't feel impulsive though. So like I'm looking at the Chariot going, Like it's not like you just got in your car one day and drove somewhere. You know what I mean? Because when I asked like, what's the vessel? And they're like, Chariot, which most people would say would be like a mode of transportation, right? And chariots are on the ground, so you would think that it would be like train, that kind. I'm like, are you being funny right now? I don't feel this yet. It's not answering the question. And it's like they're dancing around it, and I'm like, challenge accepted, motherfucker. Challenge accepted. The one thing that gets you excited. The one thing you want to say yes to. Like, I feel like you've been doing things and trying the hats on it, but you haven't said yes to something yet. Something gets presented. And, the Knight of Pentacles is like an offer. The Knights do have an offer on hand. And it would be in describing, because I was asking about the Page of Wands, like it is the thing you'll say yes to that will help get you the rest of the way. It's almost like whatever this is sent by the stationary thing that's calling you in. It must be connected to it somehow. Person, job, place. So the Page of Wands is connected somehow. Something extended sent your way to bring you to it. God, if we were thinking literal, this could be like a job that's like, I'll fly you out so you can meet and kind of thing. Or someone who found you online at a distance and connects with you on like LinkedIn. That's the modem. That's the thing that, you know what I mean? And it's like, somehow it excites you. It could be an offer extended, like maybe something is waiting for you at a distance, and they send an offer. Like I'm thinking of like a friend saying, "Hey, I'm going to such and such this summer. Would you like?" I'm just letting everybody know if anybody wants to go along. And it's like all you needed was like you probably wouldn't have gone by yourself, right? That's what I was saying. You're not just gonna pick up and just start driving somewhere. No, if somebody invited you somewhere, you're like, that sounds really great. And now you've got someone to split the costs with, and it's like, so it's kind of like, and it gets you there. If this is a person, this could be and they're showing me a scenario where like somebody's throwing a party or like a cookout or something like that. And they go, hey, your friend so-and-so, why don't you invite her? Why don't you invite them? And so it's like the Page of Wands is the thing that you'll say yes to, right? Because if this person maybe reached out to you, you'd be like, I don't know, but it's like somebody you're even closer with, you feel more comfortable with, everything like that, you'll say yes to them. So whatever this is, you'll say yes. Not hiding it so well, are you, Spirit? Okay. You didn't think I was going to work for it today. I am. It's the one thing you'll say yes to. Okay. And it's like a definitive yes. Because with the chariot is success, victory. It is a without a doubt. So whatever this is so enticing. Either spirit or the job or the place or the person or something, this situation, like you're so in the dark, but when it shows up, you're like, oh, I gotta do this. Oh my God, yes. Like whatever it is, it shows up and it's a yes. Like they already fucking know. They already know. There's no like, okay. I wanna ask some more. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, again, it's like you're like, oh fuck yes. Like whatever this is, we got the Ten of Swords. I guess it's time. It started speaking to me really good. Ten of Swords is like when the worst is over, when you're ready for the Ace of Swords. You go from the 10 to the Ace, right? Something's dead, done, over with. And so you are uninhibited. Remember when I said you were at the Seven of Cups for so long, and it was like because nothing, and you had to figure it out for yourself that you didn't want it? You know what I mean? Like you had to somehow internally figure out and go, God damn, my thoughts don't fuck that. No, they aren't. They're not right. They're not. Like you don't fall for them anymore. You don't fall for the bullshit, right? Like you have discernment. You know at this point the reason you didn't choose any of those things because it just didn't feel right. And you not doing it had a lot more to do with that it didn't speak to you than it did any of the stories your mind came up with. And you're choosing of your own free will to go for the things that light you up internally, that speak to something within you, that fulfill your heart, that there's just no amount of anything that your brain can do to interfere or anybody else. You know beyond a shadow of a doubt, those are the things that you don't want. I had a Four of Cups out here. It is not on the board anymore. Beyond a shadow of it, I was going to pick it up and show you. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, you know it's not for you. It's not fucking out here anymore, guys. Like, there's no convincing you. Like, you just know. That level of discernment has you in such a place that it's like there's no possible way. Maybe if you were still in the Nine of Swords, your brain, you're not in the Nine of Swords. Your mind cannot plague you, interfere, or anything else like that. Your ego can't do it. You're at the 10. So it happens so much that you see it for what it is. You have the clarity now, which is why you've been following your intuition like breadcrumbs, which includes the not going for things and not doing things. And even if you tried on a hat, it's like you would try it on for good measure, but you already knew. You already knew. As I'm putting it on and taking it off, I already know. No. It's like the women who are getting their wedding dress, right? And they just see something on a hanger and they're like, no. And then sometimes they'll see something, they're like, oh, yes, you just know. You already know this is the level of discernment is there. That's what they mean between the 10 of Swords and the King of Swords. Because the King of Swords is so fucking on point. He is very decisive. He knows exactly why he's choosing what he's choosing when he's choosing it. He sees things clearly and acts accordingly. Discernment on point. Okay? Discernment on point. So they know beyond a shadow of a doubt, you will say yes. Okay. I assume it's going to show up differently for everybody. Whatever this is that you're going to say yes to is taking you directly to that. And it's almost an extension of it. Okay. They're willing to give me a little bit more. I'm wondering if it's going to be too different for everybody. That Page of Wands that shows up, that excites you, that you're willing to say yes, that's fun, adventurous. It's like beyond a shadow of doubt. Of course you're going to. It's like you're in such a place that you'll only say yes, and you won't ignore the moments when you get excited, like when it speaks to you. You're like, oh, yep, yes, that's a yes. Like there's no him and Han in the mindset, or in the mindset. That is so. At what point did I pick the fucking 4 of Cups up and put it in there? Like I don't remember that. Is there anything that fell? Okay, they're giving me that you were really cautious before, because I got the 4 of Pentacles, which is, again, still the holding back, not quite certain, not wanting to do something that's going to rock the boat, but that might have permeated, it gets to a point where it's almost like stuckness. But then we've got the 10 of Swords again, and they're like, it literally says being too cautious for the four of Pentacles, and then the 10 of Air, or the 10 of Swords, says the end of a difficult situation, embracing the change, expecting things to get better now. Like you're in a place of 4 of Pentacles does not embrace the change. You really had to sit there with those 7 cups before you were really willing to get into the 8 of Cups and leave that be. You're like, no. It's not all these cerebral reasons. It's because it doesn't speak to me. So now I know how to move forward. So now I wait for something that does speak to me. Okay, that ignite. Okay, I feel a little something there. I'm following the breadcrumbs. I'm going. You're going. Then we have moving from a place of not feeling anything at all, not sensing, not having anything coming into your life. 5 of Pentacles. That ignited you, that spoke to you, that you felt drawn to. It was nothing for a while, to finally things showing up. 3 of Wands. Something coming in. You're following it. You're following it. 2 of Wands. You're moving forward. And then the Magician says you are ready. Can I know what the Page of Wands is? What is showing up that we will say fuck yes to? I might have to pull from Kipper, and then we'll... So fucking much. Like a whole fucking book. Let me see. Okay, it's not speaking to me. I want to see if it's like says something, and it's not, but this did come out on its own. What are we saying yes to? They're bringing me to two things. Like when one scenario feels like a gift, which in my mind would go along with like someone inviting you along somewhere. Like, you don't got to worry about it. I got you. Why don't you come? It's like, because it says gifts of money, time, or effort. And it's like, it's an offering that you can't refuse. But then there's also the idea of like a career opportunity. And it has a return to optimism, 6 of Cups. So you're receiving something. Six of Pentacles. You are receiving something. 3 of Wands. Something's coming to you that you're willing to take action towards. Six of Cups is also like this, like memories, nostalgia. It's a yes to something that I get. Okay, so like 6 of Cups is also like past life things. And they can't, because they said home again, and I'm thinking that could be a number, like again, anything that it feels home to you. It feels right. It feels like it fits, whether it's a person or a place or a career. Like again, it's like I want to say nostalgic, like okay, like it's like a oh, I haven't in a long time, or oh, that sounds like like there's something that's offered, and you're like sure. And then we have the King of Wands, which they're giving me the words motivational, like it motivates you. There's just something on offer here. They will not get any more specific. It is something that's on offer, something that gets presented, something that they know you'll follow through with. That's what the King of Wands does. You're going to say yes. It ignites something in you that feels like home, or it's like a return to joy. There's a very nostalgic kind of like, ooh, it's almost like the comfort food that you grew up with. And like somebody's like, you want to go eat such and you're like, oh, like it elicits something from you, but it brings about a level of optimism. And it's in the realm of either like an offering, like an invitation or like a gift of some kind that like, you know what I'm saying? Or a career. It like the modicum of getting there. Am I saying that right? Is that the right word? Mm-mm. The vessel in which you take. Okay, we got the Page of Water, Page of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. A new person enters your life. Psychic abilities are heightened. Trust your intuition. That's all they'll say. It's like you've gotten this. Okay, they're giving this to me. You've gotten this far. Like the whole point of whatever's been happening here, where you felt like you could have done anything, but you felt like you couldn't do anything. Like that whole dichotomy was to get you to the place where you were continuously following your intuition, trusting it more, understanding how to follow that versus the other things, right? And how much, whether or not something spoke to you, how that should be guiding you, how much that is a part of your intuition, the distinction between that and everything that's cerebral. Like, so why would they tell you exactly what it is right now? You've got to continue to follow your intuition. They're not going to tell you exactly what it is, because that puts it back into the cerebral and you'll be looking for that. And they don't want that. They want you to follow your intuition. They want you to be guided. There's a necessity to having success in following your guidance so that it almost like gets solidified at like a cellular DNA level. It like becomes your new programmed method of operation. So if I were to give you it in detail, it takes it out of that then. You're almost in this very soft spot where it's like, again, there's something of like following it to the end and receiving the reward or receiving the victory chariot card as a result of doing that reprograms you within it. You embody it then. It's not to say that Spirit won't ever tell you something ahead of time. It's that they want to make sure this becomes a part of your fabric, this way of operating. Because you know as well as I do that sometimes false prophets, false messages will make their way to you. And this voice within needs to be able to speak louder over any of that. Like when all else goes deaf and when there is confusion, this is what you rely upon. Not this, not something external, but what's within. So they're just not going to give something very specific. But they will tell you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, it isn't something that you're going to say no to. You will say yes. You will know that you're meant to whatever it is. And it's going to excite you. And it's going to put you in an energy of this fun-loving, like adventurous playfulness. It's and you haven't had excitement over something like this in a very long time. So it's achieving something that a lot of these other things could not. And if what you have been doing in your life, every hat you're trying on, everything that you're doing, all the actions you're taking, none of them really light you the fuck up, and you feel like something has put you, like you've put something, and that tells me it's something new. Whatever is waiting for you on the other side that's calling you to it, because it's stationary, it can't come to you, you have to go to it. It is completely new. Whatever shows up that excites you, maybe that's the same thing that you put on the shelf, which was meant to be your vessel to get to it. That will excite you, but even that is not exactly what you're heading towards. It is merely the carpet that you ride, the magic carpet ride. So, Well, it sounds like to me, David, that type of opportunity, if something were to present, like, I hope everybody knows not to take everything exceptionally literally. Like, home is not necessarily where you grew up, right? Like, it feels like where it belongs. That's what home is. It is a part of you. And also, if it wouldn't excite you, then that's not what we're talking about. So we wouldn't even have to mention it, because obviously Spirit said several times it'll get you excited. And if Oklahoma doesn't excite you, then that's not what's going to come through. So time to put that cerebral on the shelf. All right, everybody, I hope that this message reaches whoever it was meant for. Hope you have a wonderful and fantastic day, and I will see you next week.